Hey, welcome to Neversink Farm, and we're inside. This is Hoop House 1, actually, one of the first hoop houses we put up. But what I'm going to talk about today is trellising cucumbers efficiently indoors. Cucumbers are one of our #1 crops, definitely in the top 5 in the spring and early summer. People love them, everybody buys them because they go into salads. It's like lettuce, right? They're making a salad, it's lettuce, tomato, cucumber, so they love them. I've done many different methods. I've done a string where you wrap them around a string, umbrella method, which requires, shorter trellising infrastructure, and those are fine, but they have a lot of problems. The string, you have to go up and figure out a way to come back down. You have to attach them at the bottom somehow so they don't slide. But even as you go up, they can slide down the string. You have a problem having to take the string off when you take them down. If anyone's done it, it's kind of a pain. There's a method where you just use roller hooks and you clip it the whole way and then you lower it. But you have the whole clip mess, all these plastic clips that you have to deal with. You have to get up on a ladder to lower it. Anyway, this solves all those problems. So I'm gonna show you beginning to end. And we have these long ones on the ground, and they're longer than you would want to start with, but I was waiting for you. I didn't want to start without you so that you can see, but imagine they're a bit shorter when you start. It's not going to make much of a difference, but it's certainly easier if they're a little bit shorter. So what these go in, right here's my bed, right? You have the stakes here. This is narrower than the stakes, right? So I want to put it inside the bed so we're not tripping over them. And I want to put them about every 20 inches or so, right? So I'm spacing these things, I don't know, every 15, the cucumbers themselves, okay? And I'm just sliding these things in. Okay, I'm just gonna start it here and not go all the way down so that you can see what we're doing, right? But you imagine we put the wickets all the way down, okay? And then we take a hook. And I like the 3-clip method. I feel it works the best, and a nice long hook. I don't like to tie a string at the bottom because it just wraps around the string, and it's another thing to deal with, especially during cleanup. But as they're growing, right, we're gonna have one that holds it from sliding off, a second one as it's growing, and then a third one, which is when that we're gonna be no higher than a comfortable height. This isn't, right? I mean, even if your comfortable height is here, that's fine. It makes no difference. We want it comfortable and easy. And so it goes over the, okay, so it goes right over the first vine. And the time that you want to put this on is when it reaches the metal hook. Okay? So, as I said, mine's a little long here, but not too much longer. Okay, and I just put the clip on, okay, and right, so you're gonna do it when it's just long enough to reach that clip. If you want a healthy cucumber, it's a good idea to take the cucumbers from the first 3 feet and get rid of them. It's just, it's not strong enough yet to really have a lot of cucumbers. So if you want a longer harvest window, it's best to do that. And I don't remove every one of these, just the ones that are starting to get long, because I find not everyone becomes a new shoot, so I don't bother taking them all off. Let me discuss how long of a hook. I have a picture on our website, Neversink Tools website, that will show you for cucumbers. And basically how we're defining it is based on the height of your structure and making sure that the bottom of the hook is between 10 and 24 inches above the wicket. This will give you some room that if you want to raise your wicket using wicket risers, you can still clear them. And that it's long enough that you don't have to wait till your cucumber gets so long before you put it on the hook. So that shot will give you the ideal distances. We'll flash it right now so that you can see what it looks like, but you want to go and look and study it so you get the right hooks. Okay, so I'm going to put a few more in. Okay, so I got a couple more hooks here. Now, you could put everything on a hook and then put the wickets in. Especially if they're long, you'll be getting them out of the way. It doesn't really matter. What I do sometimes is I'll leave the wickets in and just replant them. Right, I'll pull them out and replant them, and I'm going to show you that later. But you can also have the short plants in, right? They're just starting to grow, and then put your wickets in. And then later when they're long enough, you put the hooks in. But if you didn't do it, bring the hooks over, clip them on, then put your wickets on. It makes no difference. But what I definitely like to do is make sure I have all 3 clips on here, because as it gets messy, as they start growing, it's just nice to have them all there ready for you. And when I take down the cucumbers, I also make sure to leave the clips in place for the next time. Okay, and if you're growing something else in here during the winter, you can either take them out of the way, right, stack them at the end like I do here. Take a look at that. So just stack them at the end of the row, right, and move these to the end of the row, or you can leave them in place if they don't bother you when you're growing lettuce sets. Okay, so let's attach another one. Okay, now remember, you just wait until it's long enough to get to the bottom of the hook. Get it on here, okay, just like that. Now if there's any long pieces growing, we get rid of those, right? Now's the time to do that. Some extra cucumbers that could be slowing it down, okay? Here's one more longer one. But you see what I mean by, like, some never grow, then others do grow. All right, so I make sure I move the ones that are growing, okay? And we'll do one more, okay? Good. Okay, I'll get rid of my extra cukes. Just like so. And then we'll just get them all started. It's just such an easy way to get them started. I don't have to put a clip at the bottom. I don't have to wrap them. And then as they grow more, right? And so imagine I clipped it on the first time here, and then it grew a little bit more. Then I just take that growth, I take the next clip, and then just clip it on. Okay? The same thing with the next one. Right? Once it's long enough for the second clip, bring it in like that. Okay, and then the same is true for the last clip, right? So once it grows enough, probably be a bit longer than this, but just trying to give you an idea. Okay, we can cut this out. Okay, is when the last one reaches about up here, we're going to be putting in the last clip. Okay, and at that point, we're not putting in any more clips. Those are the 3. And when it grows taller than that, we're going to lower it and we're going to move it, not lean it, but we're just going to move it over the wickets so we keep the cucumbers and the vine off the ground. And we're going to show you that now. Okay, so here you can see this has been growing, right? And taking out some of these, okay, and been lowered on top of the wickets. Here we go, and it goes up here, right? This isn't quite long enough to lower again, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, so I'm going to start lowering here. Okay, let's assume this is here. Okay, so we have a little bit more growth. And normally what would happen here, let's say you had a roller hook system or a string, is that's the last time you'd be able to wrap it. And now what do? The plant is still producing like crazy. So do you let it come back down? You'd have to put a clip here to kind of suspend it. Otherwise the thing's going to slide down the string. Or you're going to have to clip it the whole way and then lower it, where you're going to need a ladder or something. So instead, that's why we're using this system. And immediately when something is just so obviously better and so much faster and saves us days and days throughout the season on the farm, I just switch. You probably already know that about me. And that's why I switched to this. It's just so much faster and better. And I don't mourn the loss of the roller hooks. I mean, there's nothing I use roller hooks or tomahawks for anymore at all. Okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off the clip, okay, that is at the bottom of the hook. Okay? I should be able to see it. Okay. All right, so that hook is right at the, that clip is right at the bottom of the hook. And that's the one, just take it off, it's really easy. Okay. And there's enough friction to keep it in place. And then I just move it over and lower it, just like that. I mean, that's all there is to it. And then I put a new clip on top. Okay. And this just has to be hanging straight down. The weight is on the wickets. Okay, we're gonna do it one more time. Gonna take this off. Okay, comes off very easily. I hold the two clips with my thumb against the back of the clip. Okay, move it over, just slide it down. Okay, and then put a clip on it. Just like so. It's that easy. Okay, and you just keep going. And this can go pretty long until your plants lose vigor. And you'll notice that. But these are incredibly vigorous, and you can see how long the vine is. I mean, this is going, I don't know, 15, 20 feet of vine that's still producing cucumbers at an alarming rate. I mean, they're doing really, really well. And we don't have to have people on ladders looking for cucumbers. Everything is nice at harvesting height, right? Nothing's lower than this because they're not on the ground. They're just hanging. And as I said, you can use wicket risers if you like them a little higher, kind of keep your working range slightly higher. But it works really nice. I'm going to show you what needed to be done, that when the cucumbers are finished and they're no longer producing, what we do. Okay, so we'll come back down to the end. You know, after you give it your final harvest, all right, we take all the cucumbers off. Okay, and you know, I even sell these little guys. I don't know about you, but people love these little things at the market. They just buy them, so I don't throw them out. Right, so when it's done harvesting, okay, all we need to do is take one clip off, then I put it back on the hook, two clips off, put it back on the hook, and the final clip off, okay, and put it back on the hook. All right, and this will stay, then I can move it out of the way because I know the next cucumber is going to start there, right? And now all this just goes to the compost pile. All you do is you just pull it out. And beautiful compost can be made from that. And that's all we need to do. And once they're out, just plant the new plant in its place. Obviously, you're going to get some of that beautiful compost, put it down, fertilize the beds, and then you don't have to move the wickets or anything. Put your new cucumbers in for your succession planting of cucumbers and start over again. No strings to worry about, no hooks to reset up, all of that nonsense. It's just ready to go. All right, thanks for watching, and till next time.